There is a question, a single haunting question, that I want you to consider in the profound silence of your own mind. It is a question that has pursued every man and every woman who has ever felt a stirring of ambition, a flicker of discontent with mediocrity, a vision of a life greater than the one they currently lead. The question is this: why is it that some individuals, possessing no greater innate talent, no superior education, and no more favorable start in life than you, ascend to the towering peaks of achievement, amassing fortunes, forging empires, and leaving their indelible mark upon the world, while others, with equal or even greater potential, remain forever stranded in the flatlands of the average? Why does one man's business flourish into a dynasty, while another's, just as well conceived, flickers and dies? Why does one woman's idea revolutionize an industry, while another's, perhaps even more brilliant, is forgotten in a drawer? You have felt this question, have you not? You have looked upon the accomplishments of the great industrialists, the Carnegies, the Fords, the Edisons, and you have wondered, secretly, what singular, mysterious quality they possessed that you do not. I am here to tell you, with all the conviction of a man who has spent a lifetime in study of this very subject, that the answer is not a mystery. It is not a secret guarded by the elite. It is a law as real, as immutable, as dependable as the law of gravity which holds this very earth in its orbit. And today, you will come to understand this law. You will learn its name. You will grasp its mechanics. And you will be given the key to wielding its power for the attainment of your own definite chief aim. Let me take you back some decades, to the beginning of my own quest. I was a young man, tasked by the great industrialist Andrew Carnegie with a monumental mission: to analyze the lives of the most successful men and women of the age, and to distill the universal principles of success. For 20 years, I studied the Fords, the Edisons, the Roosevelts, the Wrigleys. I sat in their offices, I walked their factories, I probed their minds. And after 2 decades of relentless research, a pattern emerged, a common thread woven through the tapestry of every great achievement I witnessed. It was not merely hard work, for I have known countless men who worked themselves to exhaustion for a pittance. It was not merely education, for the world is filled with educated derelicts. It was not merely talent, for I have seen genius begging on street corners. No, the common thread was something else, something more powerful. It was a force that multiplied hard work, that amplified education, that magnified talent to a scale that could move the world. It was a force that these masters of industry used with the precision of a scientist and the faith of a priest. And that force, that supreme law, has a name. It is called the mastermind. The mastermind principle is the alchemy of human achievement. It is the philosopher's stone that turns the lead of solitary effort into the gold of collective, monumental success. And it is defined by this immutable truth: no 2 minds ever come together without thereby creating a third, invisible, intangible force which may be likened to a third mind. Let me repeat that, for it is the cornerstone upon which empires are built. No 2 minds ever come together without thereby creating a third, invisible, intangible force which may be likened to a third mind. This is not a mere poetic sentiment. This is a concrete, functional reality of the human experience. 2 or more minds, working together in perfect harmony, do not merely add their power. They multiply it. They create a new mind, a mastermind, a reservoir of intelligence, energy, and creative power that is available to every single member of the alliance. This is the secret counsel that guided Andrew Carnegie. This is the invisible engine that powered Thomas Edison's laboratory. This is the strategic command that orchestrated Henry Ford's assembly line. They did not achieve what they achieved alone. They achieved it through the conscious, deliberate, and persistent application of the mastermind. And now, my friend, this law is available to you. Let us now define this concept with meticulous clarity, for a principle misunderstood is a principle misapplied. The mastermind is not a casual conversation. It is not a social club. It is not a weekly meeting where complaints are aired and time is wasted. The mastermind is a coordinated alliance of 2 or more people who harmonize their thoughts and their spirits in a perfect unity of purpose for the attainment of a definite common goal. Think of it in this way. You, as an individual, possess a certain measure of mental power. You have your own education, your own experiences, your own unique perspective. It is like a single candle, burning in a vast room. It provides light. It allows you to see. It is a source of warmth and energy. But what happens when you take that single candle and you use it to light a second? The room becomes brighter. The light intensifies. And then a third. And a fourth. Soon, you do not have a collection of individual candles. You have a brilliant, roaring blaze that illuminates every corner of the room, that banishes all shadows, that provides enough heat to forge steel. This is the mastermind. Your mind is the first candle. The mind of a trusted ally is the second. Together, you create a third mind, the blazing fire, which is a source of illumination and power far beyond what either of you could ever generate alone. Now, contrast this with the life of the individual who attempts to go it alone. He is the solitary candle, sputtering in the wind. He is the ship's captain, adrift in a stormy sea, trying to navigate by a single flickering star. He may have a map, his plan, but without the sextant of collective wisdom, without the compass of shared experience, he is at the mercy of the tides. He works hard, yes. He is sincere, undoubtedly, but his progress is slow, his path is fraught with unseen dangers, and his vision is limited to the narrow horizon of his own understanding. The man or woman with a mastermind, however, is the captain of a mighty vessel, powered by steam, guided by the finest navigational instruments, and crewed by a dedicated, expert team. They do not merely hope to reach their destination. They chart their course with mathematical certainty, and they command the very seas to obey their will. In the context of our modern American landscape, this principle is more critical now than it has ever been. We live in an age of staggering complexity. Technology evolves in the blink of an eye. Global markets shift like desert sands. The specialized knowledge required to succeed in any single field is so vast that no one human being can possibly contain it all. The lone wolf, the rugged individualist trying to conquer this new frontier by sheer force of will, is not a hero. He is a fool, tilting at windmills. He will be outpaced, outmaneuvered, and outsmarted by the organized power of a mastermind alliance every single time. Your success, your achievement of the American dream you hold in your heart, is no longer a solo endeavor. It is a team sport, and the mastermind is your championship team. Now, we must move from the philosophical to the practical. We must dissect this principle and understand, with crystal clarity, how you are to build your own mastermind. This is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of chemistry. There are 3 key elements to its construction, and we shall examine each one with the care of a master craftsman. Key point 1. A group of smart people. You might hear this and think, of course, Napoleon, I need to find brilliant people. But you would be only partially correct. The selection of your mastermind is the most critical step you will take, and smart must be defined with precision. You are not looking for people who are merely intelligent. You are looking for people who possess specific, complementary forms of intelligence to your own. You are building a cabinet of the mind, and you need a secretary of strategy, a secretary of finance, a secretary of operations, a secretary of creativity. First and foremost, you must seek out minds that are in harmony with the central purpose of the alliance. You cannot build a mastermind for a real estate empire with a person whose heart and soul are dedicated to philanthropic work for the arts. Your purposes must be aligned. This harmony is the fertile soil in which the third mind can grow. Without it, you have discord. You have conflict. You have a team of horses pulling in different directions, and the carriage goes nowhere. Secondly, you must seek out people who possess knowledge, experience, and skills that you do not. If you are a visionary, a dreamer, you must find an organizer, a pragmatist. If you are a master of sales and marketing, you must find a wizard of finance and logistics. Your weaknesses must be counterbalanced by their strengths, and vice versa. Andrew Carnegie's inner circle was not composed of 40 other steel experts. It was composed of financiers, railroad men, sales masters, and production geniuses. Each filled a gap in the other's knowledge. But Napoleon, you may say, I am not yet successful. How can I attract these brilliant, accomplished people to my mastermind? This is a common and understandable objection. And I reply to you, you are not asking them to work for you. You are inviting them to work with you. You are not offering them a salary. You are offering them a share in the creation of this third, invisible, powerful mind from which they, too, will draw immense benefit. You approach them not as a supplicant, but as a fellow architect of destiny. You lead with your definite chief aim, with your burning desire, with the clarity and power of your vision. A truly intelligent person recognizes value, and there is no greater value than being part of a coordinated effort to achieve a grand objective. Start small. Your mastermind does not need to begin with a board of titans. It can begin with one other person, a trusted friend, a colleague whose judgment you respect. The key is to begin, to initiate the process. The law works with 2 minds as surely as it does with 20. The candle has been lit. Key point 2. You meet and share ideas. This sounds simple, does it not? But I assure you, this is where most potential masterminds fail. They mistake a casual chat for a coordinated mental session. The meeting of a true mastermind is a ritual. It is a sacred gathering of intellectual force. It has a structure, a discipline, a purpose. First, you must have a definite schedule. This is non-negotiable. It must be regular. Weekly is ideal, and it must be inviolable. It is as important as any board meeting of a Fortune 500 company. You do not cancel because you are tired. You do not reschedule because something more fun came up. This commitment is the first test of your seriousness. Second, you must have a definite objective for each meeting. You do not gather to see what comes up. You gather to solve a specific problem, to analyze a specific opportunity, to review progress on a specific plan. The agenda is set beforehand. The minds come prepared. Now, let us talk about the sharing of ideas. This is the combustion engine of the mastermind. It is not a series of monologues. It is a synergistic dialogue. One member presents a challenge. I am struggling to break into this new market. Then, the other minds engage. They do not criticize. They do not shoot down the idea. They build upon it. They use the phrase, yes, and one mind suggests a marketing angle. Another, building directly upon that, suggests a strategic partnership. A third, building upon both, sees a flaw in the logistics and offers a correction. This is the creation of the third mind in action. It is a chain reaction of intellectual energy. The initial idea, which may have been weak and unformed, is passed from mind to mind, each adding a layer of polish, a new facet, a structural support, until what emerges is a fully realized, diamond-sharp strategy that none of the individuals could have possibly conceived on their own. Thomas Edison was a master of this. He did not invent the electric light bulb in a solitary garret. He presided over his laboratory at Menlo Park, a physical mastermind, where a team of brilliant men, chemists, physicists, and engineers would gather daily. They would present problems, share findings, debate solutions. The light bulb was not the product of one brain. It was the offspring of a collective brain, a mastermind that Edison had the wisdom to orchestrate. You must create this same environment in your meetings. You must foster an atmosphere of absolute trust and absolute candor. There is no room for ego. There is no room for the fear of looking foolish. The only goal is the truth, and the only purpose is progress. Key point 3. The group helps you succeed. This is the ultimate purpose, the magnificent outcome. The mastermind is not an academic exercise. It is a success-generating machine. This help manifests in several tangible and intangible ways. The first is accountability. This is a force of unimaginable power. When you stand before your mastermind and you declare, "By our next meeting, I will have secured 3 new clients," you have created a powerful psychological imperative. You have given your word. You have made a promise not just to yourself, but to a group of people you respect. The fear of having to show up empty-handed, of having to report failure, will drive you to actions you would never have taken if you were only accountable to yourself. It transforms "I should" into "I must." The second form of help is access. The combined network of your mastermind alliance becomes your network. The person you need to meet, the resource you need to acquire, the expert you need to consult. Chances are, someone in your circle knows someone who knows someone. The mastermind becomes a web of connection, each strand strengthening the whole, opening doors that would have remained forever locked to you as an individual. But the most profound help, the one that aligns most directly with our opening quote, is the invisible, intangible force itself. This is the spiritual and psychic dimension of the mastermind. When two or more minds are concentrated upon a common purpose, they create a vibrational frequency, a current of mental energy that can be felt by all members. Have you ever been in a conversation so engaging, so stimulating, that you felt your own mind sharpening, your ideas flowing faster, your energy rising? That was a fleeting glimpse of the mastermind force. In a formal alliance, this force becomes a constant, renewable resource. It is a reservoir of confidence you can draw upon when your own is low. It is a wellspring of courage when you face obstacles. It is a source of inspiration when you feel stuck. This force does not just help you solve problems. It attracts the solutions to you. It operates on the principle of harmony, and harmony is a powerful magnet. It will attract the circumstances, the people, and the opportunities you need to bring your definite chief aim into physical reality. Henry Ford attracted the perfect production manager, the perfect financier, the perfect metallurgist, not by frantic searching, but by the powerful, harmonious vibration emitted by his own mastermind council. The mastermind did not just help him build cars, it helped him build the entire ecosystem that made the car possible. But what if I cannot find people locally, you ask? The modern world has dissolved this barrier. Your mastermind can meet via video conference. It can be a dedicated online forum. The medium is not important. The harmony, the purpose, and the discipline are everything. Now, understanding the mechanics is not enough. You must understand the fuel that makes the engine run. That fuel is faith, and it is applied through the power of repetition. The mastermind is not a one-time event. It is a habit. It is a ritual. It is a daily, weekly, monthly practice that must be woven into the very fabric of your life. You must have faith in the law itself, even before you see its full results, just as you have faith that the sun will rise in the morning. The human mind, particularly the subconscious mind, is the most powerful servant you will ever know. But it must be programmed. It must be conditioned. And how is it conditioned? Through repetition, through the persistent, unwavering focus on a single, definite purpose. Every time you meet with your mastermind, you are performing this programming. You are stating your goals. You are analyzing your progress. You are immersing your mind in an atmosphere of success, of problem solving, of high achievement. You are, in effect, telling your subconscious mind, this is real, this is happening, this is the environment in which I live and operate. And what happens? The subconscious mind, which controls countless involuntary functions and has direct access to the infinite intelligence of the universe, begins to accept this as your reality. It starts working for you night and day. It presents you with ideas in the shower. It gives you a sudden hunch to call a certain person. It guides your intuition towards the right decision. This is not magic. This is the cold, hard science of the mind. A thought, repeated with emotion and conviction, becomes a belief, and a belief becomes a reality. This is the cultivation of that burning desire I have so often written about. A burning desire is not a fleeting wish. It is a white-hot obsession, kept at a constant temperature by the bellows of your mastermind meetings. When your own fire threatens to dim, the collective energy of the group fans it back into a roaring blaze. Your faith is strengthened by their faith. Your persistence is bolstered by their persistence. You are no longer a single point of light, vulnerable to being snuffed out. You are part of a constellation, fixed and eternal in the heavens, each star reinforcing the brilliance of the others. And so, we come to the end of our lesson, and the beginning of your new life. Let us recapitulate. You asked a question at the beginning. Why do some achieve greatness while others do not? Now you hold the answer. The great achievers understand and apply the law of the mastermind. They do not struggle alone. They harness the multiplicative power of coordinated intelligence. They create a third, invisible mind that guides them, empowers them, and attracts success to them. You have learned the 3 key points. You must consciously select a harmonious group of complementary minds. You must meet with them regularly, with discipline and a definite purpose, to share ideas and create that synergistic spark. And you must trust in the process, knowing that this alliance will provide the accountability, the access, and the invisible force necessary to propel you to your definite chief aim. You now know the secret that Andrew Carnegie entrusted to me, which I now entrust to you. It is no longer a secret. It is your inheritance as an ambitious son or daughter of this great nation. Therefore, I issue to you your call to action. It is not a suggestion. It is a command from your own future self, the self that has already achieved the success you currently only dream of. I want you to pause this recording right now. Get a pen. Get a piece of paper. At the top of that paper, I want you to write this title, My Mastermind Alliance. Now, I want you to write down the names of 3 people. They do not have to be the perfect 3. They simply have to be 3 people you respect, whose knowledge complements your own, and with whom you believe you can establish a foundation of harmony and trust. Do not overthink this. Write the names. Now, beneath those names, write your definite chief aim, the one great goal that this alliance will help you achieve. Write it in the present tense, as if it is already accomplished. It is December 31st, and our business has generated $250,000 in revenue. We have successfully launched our new product line into 5 major retail chains. Write it with clarity and conviction. First candle has been lit. You have taken the first, most critical step. Your journey with the mastermind has begun. The power to transmute your desires into their physical reality is now in your hands. You have been given the law. The rest is up to your own initiative, your own persistence, and your own unshakable faith. Go now and build your alliance. Go now and create your third mind. Go now and claim the success that is so rightfully yours. Remember always the words that define this eternal principle, and let them echo in your mind with every step you take toward your destiny. No 2 minds ever come together without thereby creating a third, invisible, intangible force which may be likened to a third mind.